Alright, much brew about nothing. Playing some Dragonstorm this week in Modern. And we will play first. Alright, we'll keep this. I think we're just going to suspend Lotus Bloom, Mountain, go. I think in the dark, I'd rather have a turn 2 Blood Moon than a turn 1 Chalice on 1. Could get punished for it. Really depends on the matchup. Windswept Heath. Cracks it. Forest. And Glistener Elf. Alright, that is the definition of punished. Lotus Bloom ticking down. Well, Mountain and Chalice on 1 is still good, but it would have been better if we just did it last turn. Chalice on 1, but I mean, we really didn't know. Chalice does lock out a lot of stuff. And Blood Moon kind of cleans up the rest of it. Ink Moth for our opponent. Gets in for 1. Lotus Bloom ticking down. Well, Mountain and Blood Moon. We are going to need a dragon at some point, though. Breeding Pool. Tapped. Opponent gets in with the Glistener Elf. Come on, dragon. So we get our Lotus Bloom. Ooh, there's a Thundermaw. Well, that's probably what we want to do. 1, 2... Do we want to keep our Lotus Bloom? Maybe? I guess we can Stomping Grounds, untapped, exile Spirit Guide, and just cast Thundermaw. And now it's basically just a race. Can we Thundermaw our opponent before they can kill us with Infect? Doing it this way means if we just happen to draw another dragon, we still have Lotus Bloom for the mana. Another Ink Moth, which is a mountain. Alright, up to 3 poison from the Ink Moth. We could also draw Burn, which would be good. Simian Spirit Guide. Well, let's get in with our Thundermaw. Put our opponent down to 9. Uh-oh. Oh, Dismember. Alright, well, dragon down. Now this is actually a little more interesting. Let's think about this. There's not really any good reason to put Chalice on 2 or on 0. So let's just cast a Spirit Guide. Pass the turn. The only scary part is our opponent is getting to the point where they can become immense, so we kind of want to leave Simian Spirit Guide back to block. Alright, Mutagenic Growth gets countered. And passes. We draw a Mountain. Alright, we're going to Chalice on 2 because one way I could see us losing would be our opponent having Apostle's Blessing for pro-red into Become Immense. But with Chalice on 2, that can't happen. And if they become immense, worst case, they kill our Simian Spirit Guide. So they should be completely locked except for maybe one more Dismember, probably unlikely, and 4 Become Immense. Maybe one Viridian Corruptor, I guess, is a possibility, which would be really bad. That would kill us. They don't have the green mana yet, though. And the deck usually only plays a couple forests, so pretty close to a hard lock. Assuming this is the typical Infect build. Alright. Well, it does seem like our opponent's trying to fill up their graveyard. That's the only thing that makes sense here. We just want to draw a dragon. Any dragon will do. Well, Mountain, go. Pyretic Ritual doesn't help us now. Yeah, I guess it does generate Storm Count, but it doesn't really help us. Another Mountain for our opponent. I guess there's a chance our opponent could have double Become Immense, which would be bad. If they can, like, Become Immense here, untap, Become Immense again, then we could be in trouble. Well, there's a Become Immense, because that does represent lethal. A removal spell here would be insane. Well, there's Thundermaw. Unfortunately, I think we need to leave our Thundermaw on defense, Because the way our opponent's been playing, they have to have double become immense. That's the only thing that makes sense. So we want to wait until we draw maybe another Thundermaw and can win in one shot. Ooh, they might have Viridian Corruptor in hand, but not have the mana. Well, let's suspend a Lotus Bloom, pass the turn. Viridian Corruptor would kill us. But they should only have one forest. Alright, no forest. I'm very confident they do have that in hand. They become immense. Ooh, Rift Bolt is good. Let's just cast a Rift Bolt on the Glistener Elf. Oh, and it's down! Alright. So now we're free to start attacking. And we have a one-turn clock. Does our opponent really have a way out of this? They do not. Whew! Alright. Well, Chalice, good against Infect. That much is confirmed. I forgot to update the sideboard. We will do that after this game. Because Combust would definitely be better as Sudden Shock. This is one of our old deck lists. So this is here to fight against Twin, but it's not actually very good. So I forgot to do that. We will, though. Well, Chalice is awesome. Blood Moon is actually pretty good as well. I guess we could try, like, Slagstorm, maybe. What do we go down, though? Maybe go down an Archwing Dragon and a Mana Rock? Try it like that. Alright. Well, we got a couple of burn spells, which could be good. I guess we keep. We don't really have a finisher yet. Opponent probes. We don't have our big hitters for this matchup, but having 2 burn spells might be good enough. Probe number 2 down to 16. Wooded Foothills. Cracks it. And there's Glistener Elf. Alright, well. Ogre Hellkite. So we suspend. We mountain. We suspend a Rift Bolt. And pass the turn. Guess we see how fast our opponent can kill us. There's a Noble Hierarch for our opponent. Glistens in for 2. If our opponent doesn't have mana, there's a decent chance we just kill Glistener Elf, and then we're kind of okay again. Alright, well, Rift Bolt comes off suspend, going after the Glistener Elf. Glistener Elf down. Lotus Bloom ticks down. So let's just Fungal Reaches and Talisman of Impulse. Or Talisman of Impulse. I always say Talisman for some reason. Pass turn. And we have this Flames of the Firebrand, which if our opponent just like taps out for Blighted Agent, we kill Hierarch and Blighted Agent. And all of a sudden we're just super far ahead. Alright, Nature's Claim on our mana. Sure. And passes. Well, Lotus Bloom ticking down. Wooded Foothills. Let's just pass. We can use Flame, Javelin, instant speed. We're still a bit of mana away from Boggart and Hellkite. Another Hierarch. Opponent passes. Well, let's crack Wooded Foothills. Get a Stomping Grounds. Tapped. Put a counter on our Fungal Reaches. Lotus Bloom comes off suspend. There's a mountain. Well, I think we're just going to go 1 damage to everything with Flames of the Firebrand. Just like M14 Limited. Oh, except it's even better here. Can our opponent save one of their Hierarchs? Oh, they just have Spell Pierce? Alright. So Spell Pierce, our Flames of the Firebrand, saves the Hierarchs. I guess we could have sacked our Lotus Bloom, but Boggart and Hellkite's so big. If we get that down, we get to wipe their board and have a 5/5 flyer. Well, that slows us down a lot. Now I wish we had sacked this to pay for... Alright, I guess we'll just gain a life. And there's a Blighted Agent. Well, let's see what we draw. Pyretic Ritual. Well, let's kill the Blighted Agent. Pass the turn. We're at 27, so I'm not super worried about dying to Noble Hierarchs. Another Blighted Agent. Opponent gets in for 2 with Noble Hierarch. I would like to just draw a land here. Land would be our best draw. Alright, there's a mountain. So that means we get to just Flame Javelin Blighted Agent. And we have mana up to pay for Spell Pierce. Opponent cracks Wooded Foothills. Breeding Pool. Untapped. Wow. Alright, that's a Become Immense. Well, we could just be dead now. Let's see if they can kill us here. Windswept Heath. If they have double Become Immense, then we are dead. Alright. Up to 5 Infect. The good news is we are a land away from Bogard and Hellkite to wrath our opponent's board. Well, this isn't great, but it could buy us the 1 turn we need for Hellkite. Chalice on 1. So, our opponent would need a Become Immense off the top, I think, to kill us. Ooh. Their last card is Unravel the Ether. Jeez, okay. Well, this is it. Does our opponent draw a pump spell this turn? Pendelhaven does not kill us. It's going to put us to 9 poison. Alright, they don't activate Pendelhaven, up to 8 poison. Well, this is actually okay. Our opponent's out of cards. We had a storage counter. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This means we do get to Hellkite. Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. Get a mountain. Remove all 3 storage counters. And Bogard and Hellkite. So we got to do 3 to Blighted Agent and 1 to each of the Hierarchs. And now our opponent has to draw a creature into Pump Spell. And we've already gotten through a couple Blighted Agents, so there's not too many Infect creatures left. Opponent cracks Windswept Heath, thinning the deck, getting a Breeding Pool, and they are on a very short clock. Probes for the redraw, sees Pyretic Ritual. Probes for the redraw. And passes. Well, we get in with our Hellkite. And Flames of the Firebrand means we actually can win next turn. So I think we just beat Infect. Even if they draw something. So let's put a storage counter on our Fungal Reaches. Get in with our Hellkite. And just do 3 to our opponent. Does that do it? Well, so far, so good. Chalice of the Void is super helpful in that matchup, and our dragons pulled through in the end. Sweet. Well, off to a good start with Dragonstorm. Didn't cast a literal Dragonstorm, but we won.